I will spend an insane amount of time with this man on Sunday. 8.5-hour edition of NFL Game Day Morning starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. His movie is available everywhere, pretty much. American Underdog. What a great, beautiful movie about his family and his career. Courtesy of TiVo right here, the man who has the record for most passes completed to me on the NFL Game Day Morning demo set. Kurt Warner, how are you, sir? Good
most
to see
passes
you.
Without a drop as well.
By the way, yeah.
Yeah.
How about it? I know we're celebrating the two best teams in the NFL this week and your career. But let's talk about my catching ability this year.
It's been pretty good this year. I mean,
that's a high register.
You've had to track a couple things. I've seen the one-handed catch while you're in the middle of leading into something.
Yes.
But as you did say, we have 8.5 hours on Sunday. I have to believe there's going to be a couple more opportunities for catches or drops. Yeah. On Sunday, so we got to try to finish the year perfect.
I don't know, man. I know there's 8.5 hours, but did you see the promo that they put together? There's 21 human beings on there.
I know. I don't even know. I can't even imagine.
You were 3 human beings shy of running an 11-on-11 drill on the demo field.
That is a full demo field. We got 2 full teams.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Well, did you see this trophy that's sitting right here?
Look at you, big time. You get a chance to house the trophy for a little while. Huh?
Yeah, we've had it here for a couple of days. What was it like for you to pick this baby up?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
what was that like?
So many emotions. Just obviously winning the Super Bowl, to win it in the fashion that we did in the season where I took over as the starter and kind of that magical run. I mean, it was incredible. But when you hold that thing for the first time, so many things come back to you, about your journey and, where you've been and, what happened that particular season to get you to that point, because there's so many things that happen that you go, man, if that would have just been a little differently, we're probably not hoisting this trophy. And, I think about the 2 quarterbacks that are going to be in this game. I mean, you hoist that thing, Matthew Stafford. I can't imagine all the emotions that would go into that with the move that was made a year ago, and then the culmination of this. Joe Burrow, I mean, you can just look back at the playoffs with the Bengals and go, okay, if that didn't happen, they wouldn't have won that game. And if that didn't happen, they wouldn't have won that game. And now here they are with a chance to win it all. So it is a great moment, no matter who you are, no matter how much you play, to culminate everything that you've been through and put into to this game.
Let's take it one at a time then. Do you think Stafford gets a bust in that gallery in Canton with you if he wins this game? Do you think that happens, Kurt?
I'm not sure if it's as easy as just winning this game. I think there's more to come. But what I know is that if he was able to duplicate some of the things he did in Detroit after winning this, I think there's a great chance that he ends up in Canton. I think there's still a few more questions with him that people want to see him. I believe so. And again, I think there's so many different things that go into it. But what I've loved about the playoffs is that I believe Matthew Stafford's played as well as any of these quarterbacks. And he was overshadowed by Josh Allen in that first game with that unbelievable game he had. And then Patrick Mahomes brings his team back from 13 seconds to win the game the next week. And so it kind of overshadowed. But if you look at the whole of the playoffs, Matthew Stafford had played some incredible football and really the reason that the Rams are here. So I think that goes a long way. But I'm not sure just that one season is enough to kind of stamp his spot in Canton.
The guy has almost 50,000 passing yards coming into this game.
I get it. But, again, I think there's bigger things that go into it, and winning is a big part of that. Yes. So obviously I think this would go a long way.
Okay. Then what is it about Joe Burrow that now I know it is such a clear intangible, but what are you seeing on film that is like, okay, that is unicorn, that is unique, that is something that is very difficult to do? What are you seeing?
Well, it's so funny because we look at these quarterbacks in this day and age and we want to pull out their superpowers. And oftentimes you can see the superpowers of these guys now, the Lamar Jacksons and the Kyler Murrays and the speed and elusiveness that they have, or a Josh Allen, the size and his ability to run over people and the cannon arm, and Patrick Mahomes with all the crazy stuff that he does. And not many people think about this up here as a superpower, the ability to see and understand what you're seeing and make quick decisions and get the ball to the right guy. And that is Joe Burrow's superpower, is that for a young guy, his ability to process information quickly and get the ball out of his hands is second to none. And you couple that with how he's never faced. I mean, against the Titans, he gets sacked 9 times. And I keep plugging. I don't worry about anything else around me. I just do my job. And I think those are two things that really stand out about him. And then when we want to talk about this it factor,
right,
that's his it factor. It's what's going on mentally in his mind for a young guy that hasn't been in the league very long to handle everything that's kind of been thrown at him with some of the struggles they've had up front has really been a difference maker. And, for me, it's fun because he plays the game like I played the game. And so when people can't really see that superpower, they don't really know what it is. But that to me is something that's special. The guys that have it are rare. Greatest to ever play the game that just retired in Tom Brady. That's what he had. He wouldn't necessarily wow you with anything he did physically, but mentally he always reacted well in the biggest moments. And it seems to be that is what Joe Burrow does.
Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show. So you just said something that stuck out at me. You referred to Tom Brady as the guy who just retired. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Just
I saw it on Instagram, then I saw it on Twitter, and I read about it, and I heard about it. And then I heard him this past Monday talking about never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah, but why?
You never know, right? I mean, nobody wants to, be the guy that says, I'll never come back, and then some crazy situation happens, and
but the crazy situation could be the pretext to saying I said never, but something like this.
I mean, it could
I didn't
be.
see coming,
look at Eric Weddle. Like he didn't think he's playing in the Super Bowl. He didn't think he was going to play again. He thought he was done, and
that's true.
And so I don't know. Maybe Tom just doesn't want to be wrong, so I say never say never. But he's got to be done. I mean, you can't make a comeback at. I don't know. I mean, he probably could.
Excuse me, sir. One of the many reasons. And there's many, that your story is so unique and is in theaters near you. There's a guy named Brett Favre who played. Yeah. And I spent many a night at NFL Network in the early years waiting for him to make a decision, not going home because he made a decision that went against the decision that he made. Then they moved on to another guy, and he said, now, wait a minute, I'd like to backtrack on my decision for the X number of times. He's in the Hall of Fame. With you,
no
doubt. You think Brady's done?
I do believe he's done.
So then why would he say what he's saying?
I mean, again, I think you leave everything open, and maybe it's just fun to be able to have people like us continue to talk about him even when he's done. But I think there's two things to me: is that the work that Tom puts in to get ready for a season.
Yes.
I mean, that's not something that you just kind of fall into like, I'll come back for training camp and go play again. He wants to put in that work to be great. And then I think the second thing is oftentimes why people come back is they miss it, but they don't really have anything else that they've got to do. Mm-hmm. And so they find themselves in the fall going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with my life? I don't think Tom has that issue, whether it's family stuff that he's doing or all the different business endeavors that he's going to take on. And I think he's going to have something that is going to feed that competitive nature inside of him. Maybe not like those 3 hours on Sunday afternoon, but he's got plenty of stuff that will fill that void. And so for those two reasons, I don't see it.
It took him 3 business days, though. I mean, he said he tweeted and Instagrammed it out on a Tuesday, and then Monday, Jim Gray on his own podcast asked him, are you definitely retired? And then he gave this very well thought out and reasoned response that kind of caught me off.
It's still fresh. It's still fresh.
How long did it take for you to finally say, I'm done, I'm done? How long did that happen?
I knew when I retired, but I had also been thinking about it the year before. So we went to the Super Bowl the year before.
Right.
And I was contemplating it as we were making that run and just some of the things that go into it. I was like, this may be it for me. And, so once the Super Bowl was over and I kind of got away, I was kind of waiting to see if that itch came back and like that fire came back. And it was a couple of weeks and I'm like, all right, I still want to play again. About halfway through the next year, that feeling came back like, this is it. The work that goes into it, the commitment that you have to make, the toll that it was taking on me physically, it was just kind of like, it's time. So I knew halfway through the year I was going to retire. And so I had a half of a year for it to sink in and going through the playoffs and talking to the people that were close to me. And so I knew pretty definitively at that point in time I was done because it had, carried on for about a year and a half of me contemplating it.
I've never asked you this question, so I'm going to do it anyway. So if Ben's pass was a little underthrown or went off the fingertips of Santonio Holmes, or he dotted the out of bounds part, would you have retired?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'd never really thought of it that way either. For me, it was just the feel of, do I want to come back or do I not want to come back? But I don't know. I mean, because I'm sure that, maybe that overrides even the feeling you have like, okay, I feel like I should play another year. But man, if I play another year, there's no way I'm going to finish it like this. But I don't know. It never crossed my mind because I never really, considered retiring until I got away from things and reflected on what I was feeling. But
maybe if you had that magic carpet ride send off, maybe, and that's what Brady's sitting around thinking.
Right, that could be.
My last snap was handing it off to Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
like I didn't get to touch the football.
I mean, a great example for you in that was Dick Vermeil. After our win in '99, he retired. Because he's like, oh my gosh, went from here to there, and now I won my championship, and everything feels great. And he retires, and a year later, he's back coaching the Kansas City Chiefs. He's like, what was I doing? Like the emotions of that moment led him to retire as opposed to, maybe just the feeling like I was done. So I don't know. Maybe you got something there. Now, storyline that you can keep going for a little while.
All right, let's keep. We could do that. Good thing Vermeil didn't have a podcast to come on the air and say, I'm done, or I think I'm done, or anything like that. Okay, TiVo, TiVo Spring 4K. What do you stream 4K? Bringing all your streaming content and favorite live and streaming shows, movies, and sports together in one place. That's what
it's awesome. So my wife is the streamer in my family. Suze, or do you guys both stream?
We're on Peacock, sir. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you don't stream anything else?
No, I mean,
all right, okay. Well, in our house,
I'm saying yes while being self-promotional.
Okay, all right. Yeah. We stream everything, specifically my wife, and so she's got a million things, especially during the season. Like, you got to watch this show and you got to watch that movie.
Yes.
And so I'll try to carve out a little time for her, and inevitably, she's trying to find her show. She's like, I don't know what streaming network it's on. It's on this one, or it's on that one, and she's navigating around, and I'm getting bored. Like, I gotta go do my work. I gotta go watch film. So the TiVo Stream 4K is one device. Plug it into your TV, brings all your streaming services together on one screen. You just type in the search, whatever show you want to watch. Like if you're into sports movies, you want to type in American Underdog.
Nice.
Boom, it's going to pull it up from whatever streaming service. You don't have to worry about it. It's easy to use.
Yes.
If you're a sports fan, it will read your history as all smart devices do. And so it'll pop American Underdog up there if you haven't seen it yet. I don't know why you wouldn't have seen it, but if you haven't seen it yet, pops it up there because that is one of your favorites. And so everything in one house, you don't have to worry about looking around to all the streaming services because it just pulls it from whichever one your favorite show is on. And so we're kicking things off on Saturday, Super Bowl weekend, with a little live cooking show as well as a watch party for American Underdog. Dang. So if you want to find out more about that, you can go to blog.tivo.com. If you want to buy the TiVo 4K, stream 4K, you can go to TiVo.com or Amazon, and boom, I just made your life easier.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm going to take a little credit for something here, Kurt.
Okay.
You being self-promotional a little bit right there while also being promotional. Have I kind of shown you the way on that front a little bit over the years, Kurt?
Between you on one end of the desk and Irv on the other end of the desk, I mean, I am sandwiched between self-promotion for 4 hours, 8.5 hours on Sunday.
Yes.
And so it just starts to rub off a little bit.
I just realized, wait a minute. So I have 2 I's in my name. Irv has 3. Mariucci has 2. And you're just the guy. You're the team. You're the team. You're the team. You're the team player.
I got a W and an E. I got a we. I got a we. There we go.
That is an applause line. I agree. That's very, very well done. Who wins the game, Kurt? What do you got for me?
You know, we can't tell the people. I know it's your show, but we have 8.5 hours to talk about who's going to win this game.
That's Rams. It's a Rams. It's whose house? It's Rams' house. Because you do that. You're very good at that, too. You're like, well, I got to go with this. And you spend 8 hours breaking down film and giving everybody the possibilities. Because it's
possibilities, right?
I think you take it as a personal affront being asked to choose one team over another.
There are so many variables.
You do. I can see,
until I get a chance to break down in front of everybody all the different things that I see. And then I will give a prediction when it's all said and done. That last whatever hour of our show before I head over to the stadium to call the game.
That's right. You're calling the on Westwood one.
I get to call the game as well. So
how many Super Bowls is this you calling?
This is my fourth. Yeah,
you and Kevin Harlan.
Kevin Harlan
on Westwood one.
So I'm pumped. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm one of those guys that I played in a Super Bowl where I didn't feel our team played our best football. And there's nothing worse than walking away and going, in this moment, we didn't play our best. Win or lose, not as important as do you play your best football. So that's my hope, is that we get a great football game. Okay. Both of these quarterbacks play great football. Everybody walks off the field going, you know what? We left it all out there and the best team won. And I'll tell you who I think the best team is.
So which was the one that you didn't play your best football on? Which one?
Oh, the second one against, New England. And we were 14-point favorites. And that's the other beautiful thing, right, is that Rams are going to be the favorites going into this game, the underdog. Yeah. Bengals going into this game. But I've been in a game where I've been the underdog and I've been the favorite. And, that's what it's all about, that's why we play those 3 hours. That you play 10 times, maybe one team wins 9 out of 10, but doesn't matter. It happens one time.
Well, since you brought this up, I don't know if you, before I let you go, have you seen the Tuck Rule documentary, the 30 for 30, the NFL, the Films documentary?
Yeah, I believe.
Have you seen? It just came out just 3 days ago.
So I've seen something else that they did.
It's with Brady and Charles Woodson, who's on tomorrow's show. Uh-huh. It's Brady and Charles sitting down and watching the play together. Okay. They've never talked about it with each other before, and they break it down. It's a whole 60 minutes on it, and the number of things that happened in the game leading up to it and then after it as well that could have knocked Brady and the Patriots out. And maybe I don't know, you might have been taking on the Raiders that year as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
Obviously, so much could have gone into all of this.
Right, and that's the one thing that you realize, when we talk and we do all of our stuff on our show, and you let us know who you picked at the beginning of the year, and if they're in the Super Bowl, like you knew something special, which he didn't know anything special. It just got lucky.
My gosh.
But that becomes the point, right? Is that everybody that gets to this point, there's things that play in their favor that you don't think about. There's moments in different games that you go, man, if that would have just been a little bit differently, we might not be sitting in this moment. And every team can do that in every single game, and it's the beauty of our sport. It's overcoming those moments. It's it's the drop of the interception. Did that change everything? Did the Chiefs play at the end of the first half where they didn't get 3 points?
Oh my!
Did that put the so there's so many different moments like that teams will look back and go, that was the moment that we knew we had a chance to win this thing.
I think that Chiefs play at the end of the half and everything else that's at the bottom of that second half might be something that, they'll be thinking about for years to come.
No doubt.
Kurt, you're the man. I will see you on Sunday, 8.5 hours, when Kurt will eventually say, I'm a Ram. Of course, I'm going to take that. See, Brockman laughs. He knows.
But like a close game, Kurt? Like a lot of points? Like, what do you think on Sunday?
I know you're going to be watching us for 8.5 hours, so.
Well, for sure. But I'm trying to get some gambling information. He's trying to get some. I was trying to code it, but
I can't tell you right now.
All right.
He can't do it.
I just can't do it.
But he would have to hurt you, and Kurt is not a man who would hurt you.
Like 27-24
would never hurt
or something like that?
Nah, I think it might be a little bit wider than that.
Rams blowout, says Kurt Warner.
Cam Jordan
Don't put words in my mouth, Rich. You can't do that on your show.
Wow.
Says Kurt.
You got to wait for me to say it.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Oh, it's my show. Thanks for coming on it.
It's your show, so you can give my prediction?
Yes, Kurt Warner says. Yeah, that's how it works. You have your show, and we'll see how it works. Blog.TiVo.com for everything that you need to stream everything in one spot on a TiVo device.
Got to do it.
Good to see you, sir.
You too, man.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.